Another episode of the Ultimate Buckeyes coming your way soon. What's going on, everybody? It's another one. Listen, another week, another Buckeye victory. Buckeyes look really good in this part. You know, it brought a smile to my face, and they covered, which I think you said. Did you say that they was going to cover?
I don't remember. Actually, no, I do. I think I had it like 35-10, which the spread was 23.5. So they did cover the spread.
You said that good teams win and great teams cover.
Correct. Any degenerate gambler would know that quote a mile away. And that's what they did. I mean, listen, early in the game, it seemed like it was going to be a bit of a struggle until the second quarter when they opened things up. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Ty, it's so weird because, and I've talked to a lot of people about this, is like Ohio State's season hasn't started yet. And I know they had a Big Ten game on Saturday, and I know they've got another Big Ten game this week against Iowa, by far their toughest test of the year. But it just doesn't feel like there is anything with this team that is like we don't know anything about this team is my point. We know they're talented. Mm-hmm. We know that they've got just tremendous, talent across the board, offense, defense, special teams, all that good stuff. But I just don't know, like, where does this team fit in? Like, what are they? Who are they going to become?
Well,
and we'll know in 2 weeks. I know that for a fact. But give me your thoughts, Tyvis, on where we're at here as Ohio State's 4-0, looking to go 5-0 against Iowa. Do you have a feel like of what this Buckeyes team is?
I think that they're trying to establish the physicality identity. I think they want to be able to show people, listen, everybody knows that Ohio State can pass the ball. So I think that it was important for these first games that they established the run, and they've done a really good job of doing it. I mean, you look at the numbers. I mean, they could run the ball with anybody. I mean, they had, let's look at the stats. Travion had 7 carries for 69 yards, Quinshon 11 for 54, and James People 10 for 29. Now, what I didn't like is they only had 2 rushing touchdowns, but it came from Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith. But I think for them, it's always been about running the ball. And yeah, they're not playing nobody, and you can't fault them because, I mean, you got to play who's on the schedule. Nobody. Right. I guess they said the exact same thing last year to the Wolverines when you seen their schedule. It was very cupcakey, But the thing was, my question is, did the Buckeyes look dominant in these games? Did they look like the team was overwhelmed? Like it's too much. Like it's nothing we can really do, and they've kind of checked that box every game that they've been out there, where I was like, it might start off slow. Like for this one, I didn't like how the corners was playing off like this, and they was giving up, like letting them catch passes in front of them. Like I didn't like that. I liked when the corners are down there challenging guys, press man to man, attacking every ball. And to me, it felt like it was like a feel period. Like I got to fill out this wide receiver and see what he does. And that first drive, obviously, they was able to get some stuff and make some stuff happen, but they quickly locked in. They quickly locked in. The strip that Jordan Hancock had was unbelievable, and it came at the right time. So to me, when I watch them, I'm like, they're just a very talented team that athlete for athlete, they're overwhelming other players or other teams. And you're all right. We won't see it. Obviously, the biggest test will be when they play Oregon. Even though I think this week will be kind of, obviously Iowa's defense is always pretty good. But when they get to Oregon, yes, you got explosive players over there. You got explosive players here. You got a good coach there, good coach here, and those things like that. So we'll find out the true test. But no, I've loved everything I've seen. Like I said, I think I tweeted out. I said when I watch, it's just too much. Like there's no other team that I can look at. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I know they ain't playing nobody, but like when I look at them and I watch other games, it's like the Buckeyes could definitely beat them. Like I can see the Buckeyes beating them. I can see them not having an answer for this and for that. So to me, I like the space that we in right now currently.
I would agree with that. they looked dominant. I know people were like upset with kind of how they started against Akron and maybe some of these other games where there was a little bit of a lull. Like I think Ohio State, if they don't come out and win 73-3, there are people that are just never going to be happy. And it's like, golly, man, do you realize that like we're going to play tough, close games at some point? And these games are all just sort of like a preseason exhibition as they get ready for October football and November football when it matters. But no, to your point, there's nothing I've seen that makes me like worried about the team.
Yeah,
I'm just bored a little bit. Does that make sense? Like
let me get no, because the opening part of this game, like Michigan State did a good job and they like opening drive. And then on top of that, I think Will Howard threw a pick early in this game. And I was just like, and the pick was bad. Like I was looking at it like, dude, like you threw it to two Michigan State.
But Tyvis, you never he could have thrown 5 picks in the first half, and you never in your mind, like you never would have had a doubt that they were going to lose the game.
No, I'm not. We're not going to feel that way because I knew going into this game, Michigan State didn't have enough. Like they're literally on a rebuild. Like they just got their quarterback was coming off of a game where he threw no touchdowns and 3 picks. So like, yeah, of course I was not worried about them at all. Iowa, I'm not worried about Iowa because unless Iowa's putting up 40 points, like this not going to happen. So I'm not worried about Iowa as well. Oregon, they can score. So, like, that's going to be the test there. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But, like I said, you could only play who's on the schedule, and you got to play in a dominant manner, and they're doing that.
Well, I mean, and when I say that I'm bored, I don't mean like I'm bored with Ohio State football. I'm just bored with their competition, right? I want to see them play.
You want to have a close game.
Yeah, I do. I'd like to see them play a challenging opponent, which I think Iowa's going to give them, the best kind of shot, so to speak, to this point. But what's crazy, man, is like the spread on the game is 20. So Ohio State's still favored by 3 touchdowns in a game that's most likely going to be the biggest test they've faced so far.
Yeah, I mean, man, that's Iowa's fault, though. That's because Iowa hasn't put together this offense yet. But my thing is, listen. Do you think? Would you rather Ohio State? Because y'all did this. Do you think that y'all was better off in the year y'all won it all? Y'all played a lot of close games. Do you think that was better off, or do you think it's better for teams that just go out and completely dominate and that's just what it is? Which one you think holds more value?
I mean, it was good for us because we weren't like on paper this like amazing, dynasty like Miami was. I mean, we were good program. Ohio State's a great program, but we were coming off a year where we were 7-4, 7-5, right? And no expectations. So to us, we were just trying to win any game we could, any way we could. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, we just kept rolling them out and rolling them, through the schedule. And then all of a sudden, like the end of the year, we're like, man, we're pretty damn good, and all of a sudden you're realizing like, oh, like we've got NFL guys all over our roster. I mean, we knew we had good players, but then you see us go up against competition, like at the end of the year against Michigan and obviously in the title game against Miami. It's like, man, we had really good players. And by the way, we had probably much, much better players than Illinois did or Purdue did or Northwest. I mean, some of the other teams that, so even Cincinnati early in the year, that year, we struggled with to some degree. So like, just because you have got good players doesn't mean that you're going to win every game by 35 points or cover the stupid spreads that are 20.5 like this week. Because if you were a better, like in 2002, you would have hated us because I don't think we ever covered the spread. Like if we did, it was rare. It might've been just like against San Jose State or something, but like in those close games in the Big Ten, no, man, every game was a 1-score game. And I kind of liked it because the Big Ten was super competitive and it wasn't like just one team was dominating all the time. Like it didn't matter who you played. Wisconsin was always tough. Michigan State was always tough. Penn State, we know about them. Michigan, like it was a tough conference. Yeah, and I think those games definitely took us down a road of experience, right? I mean, we went to overtime against Illinois, double OT, and we went to double OT in the Fiesta Bowl. So I'm sure there were some past experiences that we were able to, go back and rely upon for sure.
So when you look at this, so you being a championship team, what do you see the qualities from this team that reminds you of the one that you were on?
Way too early to tell. They've got to get into the meat of this conference schedule. I think this week will go a long way, because I do think that Iowa plays a really good brand of football that will challenge Ohio State. They're not going to give up big plays. They're going to play good defense, sound defense. They'll stop the run. They've got actually a better quarterback this year in McNamara than who they've had in the past, and Kirk Ferentz fired his son, who was the OC. I mean, there was like a lot of stuff that has happened at Iowa that has changed. I know that last year was like this year to make fun of everything that Iowa football did, especially offensively. But they're better. I mean, listen, they beat Minnesota 2 weeks ago, 31-14. In a game that was predicted to have a total of, I think it was like 35 was the total for the game.
They averaging around 30-ish points a game, which is
sure, but they played scored 40 on Illinois State, and
they scored 40 on Illinois State,
19 on Troy,
Iowa State, 38 Troy, and 31 Minnesota. So I mean, but the thing is, like, okay, so when you look at Iowa, I mean, the running back is like freaking. They treat him like he's Derrick Henry. They give him the ball like 30 times a game. Now, don't get me wrong. The boy is bad. Now, the boy is really good. I mean, he got the ball 21 times last game for 206 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, Ohio State's going to have to put their big boy pads on. Like, it's like I don't think they got threats on the outside at wide receiver, because it's been a while. Obviously, they got Luke Lachey, the son of Jim Lachey, who's
the tight end,
who's going to be on the call. So that's going to be somebody to look for. And their tight ends is always good, but no doubt they got to stop the run this week. And I want to say this. Obviously, this is going to be the biggest test they've had as a running back, trying to stop a running back and try to stop the run game. I mean, physicality. There's not been a reason why I've said that the team has out physicaled us in any challenge that we've had this season, but this will be one. Like this dude arguably is probably the second best running back in the Big Ten to me, in my personal opinion.
Outside of our dudes?
No, the best running back is Kyle Monangai for Rutgers. That dude, that dude is a beast. But I would definitely put him second. I mean, as far as yards and touchdowns and average, like I want to say he's second. I want to say he's behind Kyle Monangai.
I mean, that 200 yards he ran for in that win against Minnesota was incredible, because Minnesota's been playing really good defense as well.
I didn't know he did that. 200 yards.
Second half he really tore it up. 3 touchdowns too, all on the ground as well. Iowa in that game ran for 272.
Yeah, the game.
And what's crazy? Yeah, but what's crazy though is the year before they played Minnesota, it was like a total snooze fest. Iowa ran for 11 yards last year against Minnesota. And that game was 12-10, which is just the perfect score for an Iowa-Minnesota game.
Yeah, that Iowa has stepped in. Obviously, firing his son, as tough as it was, it had to be done. Like, I mean,
yes,
any blind person can see that offense was just not getting any better. And I think they had it in his contract.
Listen, first off, a blind person would have been offended by that offense.
They had, I think it was in his contract last year where he had to score 21 points or more. Like I think he had to average 21 points to keep his job. So it was apparently you knew that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, this Caleb Johnson kid, I didn't know he listen, 173 the week before. He is that's about 187 the week. Hey. So basically the game plan is stopping this run game and probably play action. Like that's probably going to be the thing. Obviously, McNamara, he got hurt last year because I think he blew his ACL or he tore his knee up, I want to say. I can't remember what game it was, but it was a game where the dude had took the punt return to the house and then they called it back. It was crazy. But
I remember that game. I forget who they were playing though.
Yeah, I was obviously going to be a physical game. That it's going to be carried by the defense. At the end of the day, they got this linebacker, Jay Higgins. The dude is bad. Like he like an old school. Like you remember if you've ever played safety, you played safety, so you know what it's like.
I mean, I played mostly corner, but yeah, I did. I played safety like my freshman year.
In high school, right? Then you play
high school safety. Well, I would start the game on defense as safety, and then after the first series, they put my backup in because they like handed the ball to me 35 times a game. I was not able to stay out there and play both sides of the ball for sure.
Oh, you was a running back in high school?
Yeah, dude, it's so crazy, man. Because like I was all state my junior and senior year, first team all state as a DB, and bro, I probably can count on like the amount of snaps I played on defense that year, those 2 years, like probably 50 snaps I played defense
on the entire year.
Probably, I mean, because I played like.
But it tell me you had like 5 or 6 picks.
I had 12 in my high school career. I don't remember how many I had my senior year, but I had a lot of touchdowns running the ball.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. So
I got offers from a couple of Big Ten schools to play running back. Michigan State offered me to play running back.
Hey, but you wanted to go to Ohio State.
Yeah, and I wasn't like dead set on being a tailback, even though I think I could have been pretty darn good college running back, man.
You miss it. You wish you could have did it. If you could go back in the time, would you flip it and try it?
For sure.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was one of these days, man. I'll get
you got to get the VHS out.
I was going to say I got the VHS. In fact, I converted it to DVD. I don't even know if we can find a DVD player anymore.
Yeah, you got a point there. You got to just upload it to. We need one of them laptops with the disk drive on it that we can put it in there.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, let me get back to this running back. You know the kid is from Ohio? He's from Hamilton.
Yeah,
Ohio.
Well, I mean, if you count Cincinnati, I'm joking, by the way, for folks in Cincinnati. We do joke about where you're from, but no, he's from Ohio, and he had some comments this week, Tyvis, about wanting to beat Ohio State, not wanting to play for the Buckeyes, all of those good things, and I know you don't really have a problem with it, right?
No, I don't. But the funny part is, the only thing how can you be from Ohio and say these things? Like, I wonder where people get this hate for Ohio State that's from Ohio. That's the part that gets. Now, I don't think they offered him, but I think he said that if they did offer him, he still would have turned it down because he wants to beat Ohio State. And I don't understand that part of it. Like I'm fine with it, obviously. Like, cool, whatever, do your thing. But like I've never understood how people could be from Ohio and just completely hate Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Even if you just wanted to go somewhere else, but like to hate Ohio State, there had to be something happen like along the way growing up that made you, like
they probably
Penn State or Ohio or Michigan State or something like that.
It's probably he felt slighted because they didn't recruit him. I think that might be.
It's interesting, Tyvis. My older brother, 5 years older, went to Penn State, played there for 4 years, and he was offered by Ohio State, but it was late. Like Penn State offered him very early on.
Yeah, a lot of people
he wanted to go to Ohio State, always wanted to go there, but they didn't show him the love early on, and so his mind sort of changed about Penn State offered him. He's like, they showed me love, so he went there. And yeah, of course, he grew up rooting for Ohio State, but like at that point in time, he was playing for the Nittany Lions, and they wanted to kick Ohio State's butt every week or every time they played.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, recruiting, I always wanted to go to Ohio State. Since I seen y'all win it, I always said I wanted to go. And I didn't get recruited by Ohio State until my junior year, I want to say. My junior year, which I pretty much had everybody else in the Big Ten. They came on late, but like once I hollered at Tress, and Tress called me and said them words, like it was done. I could care less. I could care less when it was. He could have said it at the crack of dawn when I was the day before I was about to commit somewhere else. I still would have went. So I don't understand. I mean, I get it how people can feel disrespected because it's like, especially if you're a good player. Like if you're a really good player in the state of Ohio and all these other schools shows you interest in Ohio State don't, then I get that. But I mean, I was a fan. I grew up a fan, so like to me, it was a no-brainer. I tell you what, if I didn't get an offer by Ohio State, I would feel the same way they felt. That's a fact. If Ohio State never offered me, I would have went to Michigan State or wherever the heck I was going, and I would have tried to beat Ohio State myself. So, like I said, him saying that makes total sense. Don't know if it's gonna happen. Not gonna say it's not because obviously I was done it. What? It was at 17? Like 7. Was that 17 that they lost to them? That was years ago. But anyways, not gonna say it's not gonna happen. But
well, we lost to Iowa my senior year.
You lost to Iowa?
We did.
Well, who did they have? Who was the stud?
I don't think they really had any.
Bob Sanders still there?
Bob, I don't think Bob was because so in 04 was my senior year. Bob was there in 03. And Bob was there in 02. We didn't play them. I think I only played Iowa twice in my 4 years.
I only played them once.
Really? Did you play them there or at Ohio State?
No, I played them at Ohio State. That was my first career pick.
My first how about career that?
Pick was against
what year were you?
20. This was my red shirt freshman year, so this was my second year at Ohio State. I had it was one of them. We was playing. I think we was in cover 3, and they ran like OVS, so outside fade 7 route with the dude going into the flats. So because I was at nickel, so they was high-lowing the nickel. And all week in practice, my coach kept telling me, no, it wasn't an OVS. He ran like a hitch or whatever it was. It was a hitch, but the dude was going to the flats. That's what it was. So all week in practice, my coach kept saying, stop, don't go to the flats. He said, you need to stand right here because they're going to make you go to the flats so they can throw this pass right here. So we get to practice, Dustin. When I tell you we ran the play 4 times, I bit the cheese every time. I couldn't help it. I just couldn't stop.
Gosh, dog it, Titus. Come on. Don't take the cheese.
So we get to the game. This is how good. It was great that I got cussed out every single time because when you get to the game, it goes off of your head. So they run the play, and I start to go take the cheese. And I say, oh, shoot, no, wait, I got to stop. And he threw the ball, and boom, it was right to me. I was like, yes. So, yes, that was my first career pick, was against Iowa. Threw me a gift.
You take it, man. Most of my picks were gifts, dude.
It's
hard to get interceptions, man.
People don't know that the passes that's actually straight to you is the hardest one. Oh. I don't care what nobody says because it's so unexpected. It's so like, oh, what is this? And you'd be so shocked that the ball is coming straight to you that you drop it. And I did that a couple of times.
Bro, I've dropped many of the interceptions. In fact, I dropped one against Michigan in 03, which was my junior year, opening possession of the game. It was like a tip pass. I dove for it, and I just didn't get my like it was like the ball was like right there in front of me, and I don't know, just didn't catch it, hit the ground. Like I literally have no explanation as to why my body became possessed by a demon and decided not to catch football. Like if I did that play 100 times, I'd catch it 99.
I swear. Listen, I got 3 of them. My last year, 2015, I got 3 picks. Dustin, I promise you, I think of these plays at least twice a day. I can't. I can't come up with how I dropped it. The first one was against Northern Illinois. The dude we called a blitz, and the blitzer put a hand up and he tips the ball, and I'm running down, and the ball is in front of me, and I lay out to try to catch the ball, but I got a cast on. See, people don't know that at Ohio State I played dang near my entire career with a cast on, like a full-blown cast was on my hand because I broke my wrist twice. So I always played with a cast on because my wrist was broken. I had to get surgery after the season, but people don't care about that. But anyways, so I laid out to catch the ball and it bounced off my cast and the dude catches it. So I was mad about that one. The second one, we was going against Indiana. This was 2014. We was at their place. Hit me. No, it was 2015. They hit me square in the numbers, right into the Vaughn. Vaughn is at safety. He funnels his dude straight to me. Quarterback doesn't see me. Throws me the ball. It would have been a 99-yard pick six. Hit me square in the numbers. Like, boom. And I just didn't catch it. I just did
Hey,
not.
man.
And then the last one was Minnesota that year. We called a blitz. It was like a 7-man blitz. Dude threw the ball, tight end didn't see it. I stepped in front of it just like this. Threw the rock up. Boom. Ball just falls straight to the ground. I'm just I didn't even react to it. I I just walked to the huddle. Like, yeah, it is what it is.
I totally fit. Dude, like I had a pick in the Natty title game in 2002, and it was like one of those that was thrown like right to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just floating in the air. And I don't know if you saw the clip of it, but I can show it to you one day. Like I catch it, like I jump and secure it with my arms and with my legs. I'm like up in the air like this, like a baby, dude. And yeah, my teammates made fun of me. I didn't care. I caught the interception and I made sure that it was like gold, man. I'm like, I'm getting this thing.
The thing is, Dustin, I literally can catch. Like my hands was really good. I just don't know what happened in those moments. Well,
right?
The one that bounced off my hand, yeah, that's the cast fault. But the rest of the two, like, I don't know. I can't tell you why I dropped it. I don't know. I was shocked. I was just shocked. That's just what it is. Like, I was shocked that the ball was that coming straight to me like that.
Yeah, I've been there many times.
All right.
No, hold on. First off, how many picks do you have in your career at Ohio State?
I think I had like 11.
No, like you know how many you had.
I swear, you know what? It's Googleable. Hold on.
It's Googleable? Okay.
Googleable. I think
we will find out.
I'm pretty sure I had like 11, 10? Let's see.
No way you had that many.
Let's see. I had this is only showing. It's showing me tackles. I'm trying to see. I can't scroll. Oh, here we go. 8. I had 8. 3 years I played.
Far from 11, though. Come on.
Well,
I had 7.
Well, okay. 7. Wait a minute, because one of them don't count because I had the 2-point conversion, so that's 9, but it don't count because it was a 2-point conversion, and it's another one that I can't think of off the top of my head. But I think I had another one. I dropped one of the two. Well, the fact of the matter is I should have had like 13. That's the cool. The fact of the matter is I had 9, even though it says 8. I had 9 because I had 2 my first year, and I dropped 3. So I would have had 12.
All right. Did you have any picks in the NFL?
No, I had one in preseason. I dropped the one in the NFL too. That one was even worse because I would first and only career start in San Francisco. Okay.
Against who?
The Raiders. Who was going against Derek Carr, right?
Okay.
So all week I did study film. This is one of them Thursday night games. So I only had like 2 days to prepare. But in my preparation, in this certain call that we had, I was checking the running back. And every time he ran a route, it was this dude named Rashard. I can't think of his first name. Rashard was his last name. Every time he ran a route, every route went outward. It was an outward breaking route. So when I got to the game, he came up to me. He hit me with the move, and he faked like he was going inside, but I knew 100% he was going outside. So when he went outside, I matched the angle. Derek Carr throws it. I lay out for it. Hit off I had this wrist splint on because I told you my hit off the wrist splint. He catches it, turns into a 20-yard explosive play. I was sick. So that was my only chance to get a pick. There you go.
Gosh, dogging, man. All right, so let's talk prediction time.
All right, my prediction. Let's see. Iowa. I think it's going to be one of those games. I really think I was going to be in this game halftime. I think it's going to be, I see it like 14-3 at halftime, something like that. 14-6, something like that at halftime.
Oh man, I certainly hope that it's not that close.
You don't think? You think they're going to run away with it like that in the first half?
In the first half, what did you say the score would be at halftime?
14-6.
Nah, man. You think we're only score 14 points in the first half?
I was deep. You don't respect Iowa's defense no more?
No, I respect it. I do. Just trying to think of a good score. I mean,
at the end of the day, I think the Buckeyes win 42-20.
Like, bro, the only way that I was going to win this game is they're going to have to create like 2 to 3 turnovers, and they're going to have to control the clock. Like they got to play keep away from Ohio State. If they can control the clock, get some turnovers, like stay on the field with converting third downs, like the old school like trestle ball kind of way to win. Punt when you have to punt. Play good field position.
42-20 is going to be this. No, 42-14 is going to be the score. Book it. 42-14. Buckeyes.
Here's a crazy stat for you, and this backs up your point about the halftime score. Since 2022, since this is Ohio State's defense. Ohio, like we're talking about Iowa defense being good. Well, Ohio State's defense has been insane too. They've only given up more than 17 points once in the last 17 games. So like your 14-6 game at halftime might be reasonable actually. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go Ohio State 24.
24? At halftime or the end of the game?
No. This is final score.
24 points. It'll be an uproar. They only scored 24 points.
I'm gonna say 24-3.
That's an uproar. So they do cover though.
But yeah, they cover by half a point.
You're gonna keep this streak going. If they score
hey man,
24 points, it's going to be an uproar. I'm just telling you.
It's not my responsibility. I mean, listen, Ryan Day's out here just making the boosters happy by covering the spread. Let's go.
I hear you. Well, with that being said, we'll find out next week. Thank you all again for tuning in to another episode of the Ultimate Buckeyes. I'm Tyvis Powell. He's Dustin Fox. See y'all next week. Peace.